bitch, you are so desperate for love. Like, you are so desperate for love. Like, do y'all know how hard that was for me to say to myself? I'm like, well, yeah, like, we've had a hard life. Why would we not want love? Like, why would we not crave that so deeply? And it's like, yeah, but, like, not at any cost, bitch. Like, don't be so desperate for it that you're literally, like, letting your emotions, your feelings be unattended. Just left unattended. When you know that how deeply you feel things, you need your emotions and feelings to be very deeply tended to. Like, that's on your mental health, babes. That's on you being able to get up and get out of bed in the morning, and you're not allowing that for yourself. I was forced, bitch. Forced. Like, I literally had no choice, okay? I was forced to look in the mirror and go, you are the fucking villain. You are still the fucking villain. After all this time, after all this growth, after all this progress you've made, and you're still the fucking villain. You're still doing the same shit. That was hard. That was real fucking hard.
Women who make men the center of their universe are the desperate women. They will go to any length to discredit the other woman so that they can pick them. Inferiority complex.
What if I told you some of the men you dated stopped talking to you because you came across as desperate? But what if I also told you you can change that in the snap of a finger, and you don't even have to change anything about yourself? If that still sounds confusing to you, don't worry. On today's live show, we're going to be discussing 5 ways women make themselves look desperate to men. That way you never again make the mistake of coming across any less than the dream girl you want to be seen as. Join the show.
Ladies, try not to get carried away when you meet someone, and I'll tell you why. There was a time in my life where when I meet someone new, when I meet a man, I'm excited, I'm throwing myself at them. But now that I'm older and wiser, I'm more self-aware, I've gotten to understand the importance of observation, of observing people, and never getting carried away. Yeah. I met someone last year who really wanted to get my attention. This guy was sending me money, buying me stuff, giving me gifts, paying for my lashes. You know, he was doing a lot of things. And this was just the first week of getting to know him. Normal me in 2019, 2020, I would have fallen in love with this guy because all he was doing was all I've ever wanted. But guess what I did? I wasn't moved. I was observing this guy because it's so good to be true. You met me today. You're sending me 500k. Tomorrow you are doing this, you are doing that. And one thing I always live by is once I get into a relationship or once I get to know someone, I always like to observe. I always like to look. I always like to just to be sure what the person's intentions truly are. And you know, once you get into a relationship, that first 2 weeks is always like that honeymoon phase, that sweet phase. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to observe this guy. I'm going to observe this guy, but I'm also going to collect all the things he's giving me because they are nice and I cannot reject them. So I observe, I try to see how things go, right? And this guy, for the first 1 week to 2 weeks, this guy was sweet. What did he not give me? It was, I was still observing, he was saying all the sweet things, saying all the things that I want to hear. Oh, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. I want you to be my girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, I'm not fascinated. I'm just I've received this kind of treatment before. If I haven't, maybe I would have been like, oh my God. But I'm in a place where I'm really self-aware and I just know when somebody is, I don't know, when things are not just good to be true. Like when things are just so good to be true, there's a way your mind works. You're unsettled. There are some people that will give you stuff and you're like, oh my God, this is good. There's some people that will give you stuff and it's just suspicious. And that was the case. It was just so suspicious. But guess what? A pretender cannot pretend for too long, right? Somebody who doesn't have good intentions for you would not pretend for long. Then after 2 weeks, I got to understand the kind of person I was dealing with. I was dealing with a narcissist, because after 2 weeks of showering me love and attention, you want to be in my skin, this guy started withdrawing. And I'm like, okay. And let me not lie, when he was giving me all these things and I was observing, I was playing along, because I'm an energy for energy girl. If you give me good vibes, I'll give you good vibes. But that doesn't mean I'm not watching you. I am watching you. I am watching you. So yeah, after 2 weeks, this guy all of a sudden started withdrawing conversations, because according to him, I was also entertaining his conversations, you get. So I thought he just felt, oh, it's that time where I get to separate from Tony, where I get to start distancing myself so she would chase me. Brother, somebody that would call me, that would text me till I sleep, started claiming busy. I'm busy. Now, imagine if I was not observing this guy. Imagine if I was easily sworn. Imagine if I had fallen in love with this guy in 2 weeks. Guys, I would have become a shadow of myself. I'll be chasing him. Why are you not speaking to me now? Why? But guess what I did? Like I told you, energy for energy. As he distanced himself, I also distanced myself. And which was really shocking to him, because I've given you the world, I've showed you all of these things. How dare you do that? So one time he stopped talking to me. I stopped talking to him. Then he came back. I'm sick. I'm sad. You didn't check up on me. You didn't this. You didn't that. And I'm like, oh, wow, really? Oh, so sorry. I hope you're better now. And he was like, I'm so sick. I just had a call with my doctor. My doctor prescribed. I'm like, sorry. I am so sorry you went through that, okay? Then I started conversing with him. He too was bringing the same energy. Then when he noticed that my energy had returned, he started going away again. And I just told myself, you know what? I can't do this. I already know where this is leading to. This guy is low bombing me. This guy has low bombed me. I knew the game. And what I did was step back. I don't have time for mind games. If I want to play the mind games, then we'll just be mad together. So I decided that I was not going to play mind games. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to mind my business. So what am I trying to say out of this is, ladies, pay attention, observe people. Imagine if I was not self-aware. I would have fallen in love with somebody who would have destroyed my life, or I would have become a shadow of myself, because I'm like, if this person can treat me nice, I'll take his bullshit. All the distancing, all the mind games, I'll be internalizing it, because I know that for 2 weeks I enjoyed all of this. If I can enjoy this for 2 weeks, imagine what my life will be. I'd have started planning my future. I'd have started. Ladies, pay attention, okay?
A woman who is thirsty will drink dirty water to quench her thirst. A woman who is starving will eat any garbage placed before her. A woman desperate for love and affection is weak and will accept any man who professes love to her. She attracts bastards. A broke bastard. A stingy bastard. A treacherous bastard who'll cheat on her. Lady, you should choose a high-value man, not a low-value, useless man who'll ruin your life.
You know the crazy thing about being desperate? You don't even know until it's too late. So I saw someone recently say something like, you shouldn't want anything that doesn't want you back in the same way or even more. And that really hit me. Because like, imagine you're walking through a desert for weeks without water, without food, and then someone comes along and offers you a tall, cold glass of rubbing alcohol. Chances are you'd probably take it because they look the same. I mean, after all, how bad could it be? You just need anything. You need something. So that's kind of what desperation looks like, right? Like when you're chasing for something and you're frustrated because you can't have it, you can't get it, but you're willing to take anything and everything just to get a little taste or a little piece of that thing. Crazy thing is, if you were in your sound, confident, relaxed mind, you'd probably be able to smell that rubbing alcohol right away and throw it right back in that person's face. There's an older version of you that would never accept this, that would never tolerate this, that would never do this. But with desperation, over time, when you really are chasing after that one thing, whether it's that person, whether it's that job, whether it's that opportunity, whether it's that relationship, it causes you to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and lose yourself just to attain a little taste of what you get. Like you start to settle. But I feel like there's always a little voice in you that knows that something isn't right, that you kind of don't deserve this, or deep down something feels weird. But you start to convince yourself that it's okay and that it doesn't matter, that this is the thing that you want and then you must have it. So yeah, that thing that you're thinking about right now, yeah, the thing that just popped up in your mind, ask yourself, is it worth losing your mind, your integrity, your values, yourself, just to have that? I like to believe in the quote that everything that I want wants me even more. And that is a powerful place to be in. Desperation can make objects seem larger than they appear depending on the mirror. What is this situation mirroring about you right now?